On Fox News, the little warmonger clown boy who couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag, Lindsey Graham, warned that President Trump will put 100% tariffs on India, China, and Brazil if they buy oil from Russia, and that Donald Trump would put a, you ready? A whooping on your ass. That's a quote. A whooping on your ass. This little fat little slime ball jerk that they keep quoting all the time, Lindsey Graham. A little warmonger. And by the way, I want to make this clear. I launched a movement called Occupy Peace over a decade ago. Matter of fact, we're going to have another rally here in Kingston on September 27th. So far, Judge Napolitano and Scott Ritter are going to be the speakers. So I'm for peace. And this is anybody that supports a war overseas, put on your drag, go over there and fight, send your wife, your kids, your money, your transgenders, and go fight or shut your mouth. You said quality's gone down. Look at the way you're dressed and I'm dressed. Go out in the street. Isn't it great to see guys my age wearing a baseball hat and guys your age wearing them backwards? What are you going to put a catcher's mask on? and everybody, you're just like, they're just terrible. All the style is gone. Look, you're talking about quality going down. Again, read your Trends Journal. Pick up this week's edition. Look at the obesity rates, ultra-processed foods. It's an ultra-processed country. Look what the people look like. When I was a young guy, there was this thing called the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Step right up, step right up. They went out of business. You know why? You don't have to step right up, step right up. See the fat man, see the tattooed lady, see the lady with the beard. They're out in the street everywhere.
That's just a trip to Walmart nowadays.
Yeah.
The rise of mega retailers like Walmart didn't just change shopping, it destroyed local economies and community ties. In the 70s and 80s, small towns had their own hardware stores, grocers, and shoe shops. But big box chains, backed by political allies and cheap capital, wiped them out. Antitrust laws faded into irrelevance as the bigs consolidated everything. This wasn't organic, it was engineered. The Clintons, for instance, supported Walmart's rise. A fight once led in states like New Hampshire was crushed under the weight of lobbying dollars. The result, uniformity, dependency, and economic stagnation for Main Street America.
Anyway, so that's the other thing that's happened. Walmart is the people that made the Clinton boy.
The
Walmart,
Clinton what?
by the way, I'm a lot old. I'm the age of Trump. I'm 78. We just turned 79. I'm a couple of months behind him. But anyway, back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, there was a movement, a guy from, I think it was New Hampshire, trying to stop Walmart from taking over the country. And they pushed it right out. Back in the day, there were antitrust laws. And we had what they called hardware stores, stationery stores, drug stores, shoe stores, grocery stores. Now they're all chains. The bigs, they buy, again, I was the assistant to the Secretary of the New York State Senate. I worked on major political campaigns in Westchester County, the richest county in America at the time. I was the chief government affairs specialist for the chemical industry. I was killing environmental legislation at the height of the environmental movement back in the 1970s. I was a young guy. All I wanted to do was make money and like chicks, But anyway, so I started to grow up and then that's when I changed. But I was on the other side. That's why I know what I know. I have a picture of me when I put on a brunch for Ronald Reagan 2 days before he's announcing he's running against Gerald Ford. 1976, I was 30 years old. I've been with presidents, prime ministers, and princes. I know what the other side is. It's a crime syndicate that people call the government. They're low-life pieces of scum, these little politicians. You call these guys out man to man, they don't know whether to piss or shit. They fold like that. They're arrogant little pieces of scum that are destroying not only the United States. How about that little guy over there in France, Macron, with a peck about that big if he has one? Oh, now he's suing this woman because he said his wife is a man? Did you see that?
Who is he suing? Candace Owens or someone else?
Yeah, one of those. I forget the woman. Yeah. All right. You got that the best cartoonist in the world. The best. Could not have come out with a freakier little clown boy. Remember Boris Johnson with the hair? And now they got that little nothing of a clown there, Starmer in the UK. How about the little arrogant piece of scum warmongering craphead from BlackRock that's running Germany now? Mertz. Building up their defense. $1 trillion. Oh, you liked World War I Germany? Oh, no, you liked World War II Germany. The Germans that killed over 25 million Russian people in Operation Barbarossa in World War II. And he's going, we have to stop those Russians. They will invade Europe if we don't stop them. Oh, Germany, the third largest economy in the world, the largest in the EU, that's been in a recession for 2 years. And now you're borrowing $1 trillion? Oh, we're going to build the infrastructure so they can hold the tanks. All right? That's who's running the world. Where are the people? Where are the people to stop this? They've lost their fight. Most of the world is still in kindergarten listening to these little clown boys and girls.
After decades in politics and corporate lobbying, the truth becomes clear. Government isn't run by visionaries. It's run by low-level opportunists. Politicians are little more than PR agents for entrenched power. The same clownish leaders, Macron, Boris Johnson, Schultz, parade the global stage with empty slogans and warmongering. Many of them lack real leadership experience or courage. They push propaganda, sue critics, and fund wars while ignoring crises at home. Their goal isn't peace or progress, it's maintaining control. Citizens distracted by celebrity gossip or social media scandals rarely question the power dynamics behind policy decisions.
How about that guy? I don't know his name. When he got caught on a camera trying to screw a chick or something a couple of days ago?
The guy at the Coldplay concert?
Yeah.
Oh, the astronomer CEO. I forget his name, but I know.
Now, who the hell is this guy? What the hell do I care? That was the big news. Not a word. Go to CNN. Not a word about the genocide going on in Gaza every day. Not a word. Not a word. Not a word. I got to know about this guy. Oh, Bezos got married. A big wedding every damn day with a chick that he married with his big fake tits. I mean, I got his ugly cat with his fake. What the hell do I care? Last time he did it, the Dow went up 22% in 2019. And then you get more M&A, merger and acquisition activity. The bigs buy up more because they got cheap money. And they got to build up, they got to bring down the treasury yield. That's the big one, because you're looking at mortgage rates are still about 6.8, 6.7. And there's a real slowdown in the housing market. And they need to boost that up. Trump is only interested in bringing up the economy. He's going to do everything to do it. And, but again, there are the wild cards. I've been at this for 45 years. You know, I don't know if people know this, but some of my books, trend tracking, far better than Megatrends Time magazine. Trends 2000, international bestseller. I've been at this a lot of years. Never before, every year we do top trends. One of the top trends this year was a wild card. Never did that before.
That was a
Anything
Trump
goes.
wild card, right?
The Trump card and the wild card. You got to look at the Middle East war. Remember, this is Trump, by the way. Hey, you elect me, I'm going to end that Ukraine war in 24 hours, all right? Hey, now that I'm elected, once I get into office, before I get into office, I'm going to end that war, all right?
Europe is preparing for war again, not peace. Germany is spending billions to rebuild military infrastructure despite being in a deep recession. France and the UK signed pacts to engage Russia if either is attacked. The media sells this buildup as economic stimulus, but bombs and tanks aren't consumer goods. They enrich only the military-industrial complex. History warns us Wars don't make countries rich, they destroy them. As Eisenhower warned, militarism drains resources from innovation, education, and the future. The West is chasing ghosts while ignoring real opportunities to rebuild and reinvest in civilian life.
Now, how about you're full of crap? This is the guy that bombed Iran. This is the guy that said we're going to annihilate the Houthis. Ready? This is also the guy that said, I want to see the Middle East get back to peace and real peace, but a peace that is going to be a lasting peace. I want immediate peace. That's when he's running for office. I want immediate peace with the Ukraine war. We want to have peace on earth all over. Here, if I were president, I would have that Ukraine war settled in 1 day, 24 hours. That's the BS crap that he said when he's running for president. I had lunch with his brother, Robert, back in 2017. He had a restaurant over here in Wasaic, which is across the river from me in Kingston. The brother went on to say that when the father died, he left the family over $500 million worth of real estate. Trump is nothing more than a spoiled daddy's boy. I'm the same age. The biggest threat my parents used to give me, you little SOB, we had enough of your crap, you're going to military school. I'll be good. I'm going to go to military school, get dressed up in a costume. Time to get up, time to go to bed. Do this, do that. I'm not going to do that, you know. Trump was so arrogant, they sent him to military school. Not far from here, where I am in Kingston, down in Cornwall, New York, in the middle of nowhere. Imagine being a teenager when you want, you know, for me, chicks, cars, sports, you know, my mother, mwah, may she rest in peace, a great Italian woman, you know, that everybody used to love to come to Aunt Marie. She was the best cook anywhere. I'm gonna eat this crap at a military school. Trump was so narcissistic that they sent him to military school. And he's still narcissistic. He's only concerned about himself.
Trump promises peace in Ukraine within 24 hours, yet arms deals and rhetoric suggest otherwise. He projects strength while courting military-industrial interests. Lindsey Graham, meanwhile, threatens tariffs and economic destruction for countries buying Russian oil, despite the U.S. fueling the same conflict with billions in weapons. The hypocrisy is glaring. Russia, rather than crumbling, has become more self-reliant, strengthening domestic production and technological capacity. Similarly, China is pivoting toward internal consumption. Western powers, meanwhile, cling to outdated threats and economic warfare, mistaking coercion for leadership. Are we seeing diplomacy or desperation?
Again, we write about it in the magazine each week. And here's what we also say. Go back to Germany. Again, they're all doing it. France and the UK just made a deal that if Russia attacks either one of them, they unite and go to war against Russia. They're all spending this money to build up their military, and this is the BS that they're pushing out there, that's going to build up their economy. No, it's not. Economies are built up when the products that are manufactured in a country are bought by the people. The products that are being manufactured, the bombs, the tanks, the planes, the ship, they're not being, people aren't buying them. That's only enriching the military-industrial complex, which Dwight D. Eisenhower, five-star general, Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces in World War II, and two-term president, said that the military-industrial complex is robbing the nation of the genius of the scientists, sweat of the laborers, and the future of the children. So they're not building up the military. Number two, that we write in the Trends Journal, what are you wasting your money for building this stuff? You go to war against Russia, it's going to be nuclear annihilation. Again, I told you, one of my books, Trends 2000, international bestseller, they brought me to Virginia Military Institute back in 2000 to talk about new millennium warfare. Now, remember, this is before drones and all of that. It was, it was 25 years ago, I said there's going to be new millennium warfare. The armaments that are being made today are going to be useless in the next war. And you're seeing it with all the drones and on and on and on. So they're wasting this money. If they go to war against Russia, Russia is the most advanced military technology in the world. Their hypersonic missiles, on and on and on, and their nuclear weapons. It'll be the end of life on Earth. But let's be stupid. I'm going to build a bunker, all right? I'm going to build a bunker. So if a nuclear bomb goes off, I'm in the bunker. Oh, life will be wonderful after that, won't it? How stupid could you be? I'm telling you, it's a waste of money, and it'll accomplish nothing.
Nuclear war isn't an abstract idea, it's a possibility. Yet leaders push forward like it's a game. The weapons of tomorrow, drones, hypersonic missiles, cyber warfare, make conventional military buildup obsolete. Still, billions are spent on outdated arsenals. The world teeters on the edge while the public remains distracted. Peace movements like Occupy Peace are fighting for attention amid a media blackout. Meanwhile, elites speak of whoopings and tariffs like it's sport. But war has consequences far beyond political points. It risks life on Earth. If citizens don't reclaim the conversation, the war machine will never stop.
Again, today, meaning this past Tuesday, on Fox News, the little warmonger clown boy who couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag, Lindsey Graham, warned that President Trump will put 100% tariffs on India, China, and Brazil if they buy oil from Russia. And that Donald Trump would put you ready? A whooping on your ass. That's a quote. A whooping on your ass. This little fat little slime ball jerk that they keep quoting all the time, Lindsey Graham. A little warmonger. And by the way, I want to make this clear. I launched a movement called Occupy Peace over a decade ago. Matter of fact, we're going to have another rally here in Kingston on September 27th. So far, Judge Napolitano and Scott Ritter are going to be the speakers. So I'm for peace. And this is anybody that supports a war overseas, put on your drag, go over there and fight, send your wife, your kids, your money, your transgenders, and go fight or shut your mouth. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, going back to Lindsey Graham, he said, quote, "These three countries account for around 80% of Russian crude exports, which is helping fund the war in Ukraine." Hey, fat mouth, how about the United States supporting the war in Ukraine? Oh, only a couple of $100 billion from Biden. Oh, and Trump said he was going to end the war, and now he's sending him more Patriot missiles, defense things, and another money. Oh, how about that? Oh, that's okay. All right, he keeps going on. If they keep buying cheap Russian oil to allow the war to continue, you ready? We're going to tear the hell out of you, and we're going to crush your economy. That's Lindsey Graham. Taking a shot at Russian President Putin, Graham said, quote, "You played President Trump at your own peril. You made a major league mistake. And your economy is going to continue to be crushed." Their economy is not crushed. Russia has become more self-sufficient. All the companies that left when the war began back in February 24th, 2022, the Russian people took over. Russia is very advanced scientifically, technologically. They don't need, just like China, they're becoming more self-sufficient. They're buying their own rather than buying from other countries. He goes on to say, and warn that the U.S. flowing weapons to Ukraine so Ukraine will have the weapons to fight Putin back. All right? That's Lindsey Graham.